Before the gleam of Yankee Stadium, before the legend of the house that Ruth built, there stood, perched high above the Hudson, a ballpark born of ambition and raw terrain. On a swampy ridge in northern Manhattan, where mosquitoes swarmed and outfielders sometimes lost the ball in the distance, the American League planted its flag in New York. This is Hilltop Park. Join us as we climb the hill, dig into the rock, and uncover the forgotten first home of the Yankees. In the winter of 1902, professional baseball in America was at a crossroads. The senior circuit, the National League, dominated the major league landscape. The upstart American League, guided by its president, Ban Johnson, hoped to gain legitimacy by expanding to the biggest market of all, New York City. In Baltimore, the old Orioles franchise was floundering in receivership. Johnson saw an opportunity. He needed financial backers and a ballpark in New York. Enter Frank J. Farrell and Bill S. DeVry, two men ready to invest. Their purchase of the Orioles for about $18,000 secured a New York entry for the American League. At a press conference on March 12, 1903, Ban Johnson announced the new club's home, West 156th Street and Broadway, less than 10 blocks from the aging Polo Grounds, perched on a rocky ridge overlooking the Hudson. And what a sight! A low swamp ran near Broadway, but above it climbed a ridge of solid rock, 12 to 15 feet higher than the street level, sloping off gradually toward Fort Washington Road. Trees had to be uprooted by the dozens, swamps drained, and rock blasted away. One New York Times reporter described it vividly. From Broadway looking west, the ground starts in a low swamp. It rises into a ridge of rocks perhaps 12 to 15 feet above the level of Broadway. As the property is today, it will be necessary to blast all along the ridge, cutting off a slice of 8 feet or more. But there are about 100 trees to be pulled up by the roots. In other words, they chose the high ground for a reason, visibility and prestige. But the ground itself was merciless. Over $200,000 was spent simply excavating and making the land usable. And the timeline? Relentless. The ballpark was built in roughly 7 weeks.